call order the Centraeus Board of Aldermen regular meeting for March 20, 2023 at 6:30. Roll call, please.
Alderman Motley. Present. Alderman Hudson.
Present.
Alderman Wilkins.
Present.
Alderman Decker.
Present.
Alderman Rogers.
Present.
Alderman Bagley.
Yeah.
Coming in, he's coming in. If everybody would stand for the pledge of allegiance, please.
Move your hat.
Keep her hurried. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. That moves us to item 4, comments from citizens. Any comments from citizens? No? No takers. I will close comments from citizens. That moves us to item 5. First, I would like to ask, before we get to that, I'd like for a point of order motion to move item 19A to right after item 5.
So moved. Second.
Have a first and second to move item 19A under item 5. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes. All right, so that moves us to the Boone County Emergency Management section of the meeting.
Good evening, Aldermen, Mayor, and staff. My name is Chris Kelly. I'm the Deputy Director of Boone County Office of Emergency Management. Been working with your city administrator. We recently did some updates to our emergency operations plan, which includes the Centralia in our jurisdiction. Within that, we did 2 big updates in there, with response to Tier 2 hazardous materials within the county, which those change every year with different Tier 2 facilities opening within the county. Secondly, the state did a review of our operation plan, and since Boone County is on the edge of the New Madrid fault line, they wanted us to put some seismic, what we would do in response to seismic activity here as far as earthquake. Are there any questions from our staff on the updates? What we're asking is for the alderpersons and mayor to endorse the changes by endorsing a promulgation statement, just accepting those changes. I also wanted to introduce to you tonight our new planner for emergency management, Paige Lewis. She is new to the office, but does have experience in emergency management. Prior to arriving with us, she had a paid internship with Missouri Department of Transportation. She rewrote their continuity of operation plans for every division within the Missouri Department of Transportation. So she comes with a very good resume. She is the person that is accountable for updating that almost 500-page document of the emergency operation plan for the county. So I wanted to introduce Paige to the aldermen and staff. So,
Congratulations, Paige.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
What kind of damage do we expect from the fault here?
the northern, there is, and I can provide Tara a map, the predictions. This northern edge, we will see some structural collapse.
Really?
Is predicted by the scientists. More so the southern part of the county, which is built on a cave bed, specifically southwest Columbia, down to Rockbridge State Park. That's all underground caves. So we feel the prediction is by science that we're going to have a lot of sinkholes and structures falling into that cave bed. So, yeah. So hopefully it won't happen, but we're putting things in place. We've worked with FEMA. Right now, as Columbia either being an evacuation point out of the airport. The airport's actually in an area that they feel is not going to suffer much damage out there. It's just whether can vehicles get there. You know, bridges, overpasses that may be structurally faulted after the strike. So we've been working with FEMA either as a reception of evacuees from other parts of the state, or evacuating people out of Boone County to other jurisdictions around Missouri. But we're definitely The SEMA feels like I-70 would be closed, so they're thinking of bringing stuff south of St. Louis through Jefferson City on 50, and then having a reunification point in Sedalia at the state fairgrounds is the state's plan. So
Would the St. Louis area be affected a lot?
that's their prediction, yes. St. Louis all the way down to, Hayti and Cape Girardeau area.
Rockland transfer.
Was there anything in what you all discussed and looked at with the hazardous waste, that kind of stuff? Is there anything dramatically different?
We didn't see anything up here, more so along the Rocky Corridor within the incorporated city limits of Columbia.
Gotcha.
That's starting to build up, and there's more
Okay.
tier 2 or hazardous
Okay.
stuff.
So it really didn't affect us?
Correct.
Okay.
Obviously, with the biggest thing I see with Centralia is Hubble does have some tier 2, and you have 2 railways that are transporting stuff through your city, and that is always in the back of mind, especially recently what's been going on with what happened in Ohio kind of comes to mind. And that railway service does come through here,
But those aren't new concerns,
they've always been there. And it looks like that the speeds coming through Centralia, they're much lower than, so that chance of derailment, there's a lower speed coming through the tracks here versus that rural community in Ohio where there was a higher speed rating for the tracks. So,
Thank you.
Any other questions? Sorry.
Sir, what does tier 2 refer to? Is that hazardous waste or what?
Hazardous materials.
Hazardous
So
materials.
tier 2 is regulated by the state and the federal government. And so anybody that has tier 2 level hazardous materials on site on a regular basis have to report that to the state, to their local emergency management department, and to the fire response agency that would come to a hazardous material event at that facility.
On that, well, how will the nuclear plant, it's down, is it stable, or, I mean, you wouldn't know, but would that be a problem?
I couldn't offer
It could
that.
be.
I would say that obviously with the regulations dealing with the U.S. nuclear regulations that the Callaway nuclear plant is under, they have a lot of seismic stuff that's already built into building out those around the nation. So I would say that their core is pretty protected by seismic activity, in addition to the small nuclear reactor that the NU campus has, which was built in the 1960s and pretty amazing and pretty well built structure. So, and the feds were really forward thinking and putting a lot of safety measures into those nuclear plants, even back to the 60s.
Thank you. All right, and that moves us to 19A, setting a special meeting for March 29th, 2023. A motion to do that.
Move we have a special meeting on March 29th, 2023.
Second.
Have first and second to have a special meeting on March 29th, 2023. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. We'll have a meeting again. Now I would entertain someone move this to closed session.
Move that we go into a closed session during the meeting. The Board of Aldermen may elect to go into closed session to hold a closed vote, and the purpose of such closed session and closed vote shall be as provided for under section 610-0211 of the revised statutes of Missouri for legal actions, causes of action or litigation involving a public governmental body and any confidential or privileged communications between a public governmental body or its representatives and its attorneys.
Second.
Have first and second to go into closed session based upon provisions read. All in favor? All opposed? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Motley? Yes. Alderman Hudson?
Yes.
Alderman Wilkins?
4.
Alderman Decker?
Yes.
Alderman Rogers?
4.
Alderman Magley?
Yes.
All right, we're going into closed session now, and we'll be back, I don't know,
When you're back.
in a little bit, yeah. No votes were taken through that actions like that, so other than that done away, we discussed the things that were outlined in our motion to go to closed session. So we will now resume to our regular session of this meeting. Consent agenda, I would take, approve as a group, A, Board of Aldermen meeting minutes, B, Public Works Utilities Committee, meeting minutes, C, General Government and Public Safety Committee meeting minutes, D, the collector's report, E, the treasurer's report, and F, the activities report.
Make a motion. Oh, go ahead. No, back to you.
I move that we approve consent agendas A through F.
Second.
First and second to approve consent agendas A through F. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes. Moves passed. That moves us to item 9, accounts payable over $1,250 equaling a grand total of $912,336.47.
What was CMS companies?
That was they did part one of the wastewater treatment plant.
They were the force main installers.
That's their last payment, right?
So
Yeah, I believe so.
they're 99%.
I got the two lines. I was reading the wrong line. I was looking at Premier Pyrotechnics. I thought, man, $47,000. Where did that go from? We could have a heck of a show. I'm lying off. I'm lying off.
I move that we accept the accounts payable over $1,250 for $912,336.47.
Second.
I have a first and a second to approve the accounts payable of $250 equaling $912,336.47. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Accounts payable passes. All right.
2496.
That moves us to item 10, legal. Ordinance setting litigation fees for the city attorney. Bill number, would be bill number 2496.
2496.
Move that bill number 2496 be given its first reading by title only.
Second.
Have first and second that bill number 2496 be given its first reading by title only. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes. First reading, please.
An ordinance of the City of Centralia, Missouri pursuant to Section 2-55 of the Centralia City Code, compensation of the city attorney, setting the usual and customary rate for legal services provided by the city attorney in connection with pre-litigation and litigation matters. I move that bill number 2496 be given its second read by title only.
Second.
Have first and second that bill number 2496 be given its second reading by title only. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Second reading, please.
And ordinance of the City of Centralia, Missouri pursuant to Section 2-55 of the Centralia City Code, compensation of the city attorney, setting the usual and customary rate for legal services provided by the city attorney in connection with pre-litigation and litigation matters. I move that bill number 2496 be adopted by roll call vote.
Second.
Have first and second for bill number 2496 to be adopted by roll call vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Motley?
Yes.
Alderman Hudson?
Four.
Alderman Wilkins?
4.
Alderman Decker?
4.
Alderman Rogers?
4.
Alderman Magley?
Yep.
Bill number 2496 passes. Not ordinance number.
3158.
Thank you. That moves us to item B. A resolution to terminate the contract with Fisher Grading.
I move that bill number 2497 be given its first and only reading by title only.
Second.
I have a first and a second for bill number 2497 to be given its first and only reading by title only. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes. First reading, please.
A resolution of the City of Centralia, Missouri authorizing the city administrator through the city attorney to terminate the contract between the City of Centralia and Fisher Grading LLC for default and breach of the construction agreement in its performance of the agreement for the Centralia wastewater system improvements entered into on May 3rd, 2021, authorizing the city administrator, the city attorney to make a demand of Fisher Grading LLC's bonds and directing the city attorney to notify Fisher Grading LLC and the West Bend Mutual Insurance Company as surety under Fisher Grading LLC construction payment and performance bonds of the termination of such contract. Mouthful. I move that bill number 2497 be adopted by roll call vote.
Second.
A motion that bill number 2497 be adopted by roll call vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It passes. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Motley?
Yes.
Alderman Hudson?
4.
Alderman Wilkins?
4.
Alderman Deckard?
4.
Alderman Rogers?
4.
Alderman Magley?
Yeah.
Okay, bill number 2497 passes by roll call vote. Resolution number,
R-23-01.
thank you. That moves into item C, a motion for the city of Centralia obligation statement.
Just make a motion, we approve it, or?
You make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign and execute the promulgation statement as presented by the Boone County Emergency Management.
So moved.
Second.
The first and second, proclamation statement to be approved. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes unanimously. Good. All right, that moves us to item 11, permits and licensing. The MOU with the Centralia Chamber for the farmers market agreement.
So this is basically just a continuation from their contract with us was for a year, but as long as all parties, it ended in September. But as long as all parties agree, we can extend it for a year, so that it pushes it through this September, when we can reevaluate and do up a new contract. So this is just you'll notice it says it'll expire on September 8th of 2022.
Has this changed from last year?
No, this
It's
is
the
exactly
same.
what it was from last year. I just wanted to bring it before you guys and see if you agree that we can just extend this for another year
And we didn't have any problems.
until September of 23.
There's no problems anybody was aware of, was there? I don't think. I didn't hear any.
It went over really well.
I move that we approve the MOU with the Centralia Chamber for Farmers Market.
Second.
I have a first and close second of the MOU with the Centralia Chamber for farmers market. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. That moves us to any old business. Anybody have any old business? With hearing none, that moves us to new business. Any new business?
So you will not see a draft budget in there tonight. Last week got a little bit crazy. So I did not,
Power going out mess things up?
a little bit. So as soon as I get the draft budget done, I will post it on our website, and I will send a copy to each of you so you've got it. And then that way you've got plenty of time to review it before next Wednesday night. The numbers in it will be subject to change because we're still doing business through the end of the month, so, but you'll have it soon.
Good enough. I just seen it. Wait to get it to us in the form we need it. Which is pretty tight. So good. Any questions? Yeah, that moves us to 13 mayor appointments. I would entertain a motion to be able to appoint Todd Alden to Centralia Park Board.
Make a motion, we approve the mayor's appointment of Todd Alden to the Centralia Park Board.
Second.
I have a first and a second to appoint Todd Alden to the Centralia Park Board. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes. City Administrator is number 14. Look report.
Don't think I have anything in particular to point out. I did do a national floodplain insurance, community assistant contact. It was a phone visit with SEMA. I was on the phone with them for about an hour. They've got to do, I want to say 10%. No, I'm not even going to say that. They have over 400 floodplain administrators in Missouri that they have to make contact with, so many every month. So, ours was this month. They said that in no way, shape, or form does that mean that we will have an audit, but we could have an audit at any time. So I'm the floodplain administrator for Centralia. I just have to make sure that we follow all of the floodplain insurance, rules and regulations. That way if they come to town, we're able to pull up all of our permits and make sure everything was, if we have anything in the floodplain that's built there, that we did everything we were supposed to. And we do have a couple floodplains.
Be
In
great
Centralia,
timing.
not many.
Be great timing for one to do that with everything going on.
Well, hopefully.
Do we have a
It was
flood insurance
different.
map?
Yeah, we have several.
Okay.
Any questions? That moves to item 15, our city attorney.
So the board's aware we got a couple of pieces of either litigation that's currently before the city or pending litigation, so obviously that's gonna be pretty dominant over the next, at least through the month of May, June, potentially in that timeframe. Not much else to report. The legislature so far, just as an update on that, hasn't really passed any bills of any like major concerns so far that, you know, they've asked for even city testimony. It's been pretty quiet, pretty light, that direction, so. That's what I'd say at this point.
All right. Any questions? Moves us to item 16, our city clerk.
Okay. Last week you gave me the opportunity to attend the Missouri City Clerks, Finance, Governor's Officers Association, Spring Institute, and it was excellent training across the board, and I'll be utilizing that to develop an employee handbook. We need to get that written and updated. A lot of good information on the marijuana, adult use marijuana and how that affects our employment, pre-employment, drug screening, et cetera. So we need to do some updates on that. Business licenses. I was talking to Tara afterward and talking to all the other clerks around the entire state. Our business licenses, I know that we want to keep everything low to attract and keep businesses, but they are woefully low compared to others. So I'll be doing a report for that and let you know kind of how we compare.
I would agree with everyone on that. With the time, the amount of time that it takes to do the business licensing, I wouldn't say that that's something we want to make money on, but we definitely are not making any money off that. It's not paying for Maryland's time.
To cover our costs.
Right.
Yes.
Just so you know, if you guys change a business license, that requires a vote, a public vote.
Correct. Yes,
So
it
you
is.
have to take that to a vote of the people. I don't,
So I just threw that out just kind of for information purposes, just so you would know where we're at and how we compare. The other thing she mentioned, the legislature, they've been on spring break, but kind of update. The one thing that we're kind of watching, I think, is the proposed sales tax, eliminating sales tax on retail food.
Sales tax, I thought they were just gonna eliminate property.
Sales and use tax elimination for retail sales of food, feminine hygiene products and diapers, used items, ammunition, firearms, medical devices. But food could be the big one. Also the property assessments, and older vehicles more than 10 years old would not be taxed. So again, they haven't done anything, they've been on spring break, but I think that ends today, so we'll just kind of watch and see where that lands.
So in your meetings, it went really well, you got a lot out of
I
them.
did, yes.
Got update on marijuana and all that stuff. How does that equate to, how does that affect the board?
Well,
Are they in that?
we should not need to make any changes because the board itself, no, employees, because the employees that we test are DOT and in safety-specific positions, so would not affect medical marijuana use and drug testing. So we should be okay as is.
Good. Anything else? Any questions for our city clerk? Thank you for that update. Appreciate it. I'll entertain someone reading this into motion to go into closed session.
Terry, you don't have any more?
No.
This will be your last
That's
one.
what I'm saying, I mean, you haven't many more opportunities.
Go out in style.
Oh.
Move that we go into closed session.
High five.
During the meeting, the Board of Aldermen may elect to go into closed session, hold a closed vote, and the purpose of such closed session, closed vote shall be, one, as provided for under section 6100211 of the revised statute of Missouri for legal actions, causes of action, or litigation involving a public governmental body and any confidential or privileged communications between a public government body or its representatives and its attorneys. Two, as provided for under section 6100212, leasing, purchasing, or sale of real estate by a public governmental body where public knowledge of the transaction might adversely affect the legal consideration therefore. And three, as provided for under section 6100213 of the revised statutes of Missouri for hiring, firing, disciplining, or promoting of particular employees by a public governmental body.
Second?
Have first and second. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Motley.
Yes.
Alderman Hudson.
Yes.
Alderman Wilkins.
Four.
Alderman Deckard.
Yes.
Alderman Rogers.
Four.
Alderman Magley.
Yeah.
All right, that moves us into closed session. We will be back. Closed session, the only vote taken was to come back into open session. There were no votes taken on any of the topics that we discussed in there that were outlined in the reading of the reasons why we went into closed session. So we're back in open session, and we're at as may arise. And in that, we moved 19A, if you remember earlier, it's been a while now, up and already dealt with that. We set the special meeting for March 29th, 2023. That moves us to B, Boone County EOP 2022.
So that's what I was talking about. We just moved that to the end of the meeting since it was so long, if anyone was scrolling through the packet.
It was hard
on the
to get
computer.
to everything
Yeah.
else.
So it was just inserted at the end because it was so long. But that's already been dealt with, so.
And he basically said there was no changes that affected us in that
Except it was, yeah, seismic.
seismic thing.
Yeah.
So I entertain a motion to,
I move that we adjourn.
Second?
have a first and second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We stand adjourned.